All right, today we're going to dive into two really powerful and kind of competing ideas that are shaping our digital world. One is all about spreading a message, breaking down walls. And the other, it's designed to do the exact opposite, to build walls, to create a fortress that nothing can get into. So, where is this big battle actually happening? It's probably not where you think. It's not in some massive server farm or a data center miles away. No, the new front line is a lot closer to home. It's right here. It's your phone, your laptop, the very screen you're looking at right now. The endpoint, your device, has become the new perimeter. This is the central battleground where these two totally different ways of thinking, control and dissent, are colliding. Okay, so first up, let's look at the architecture of dissent. We're going to break down the blueprint for how a modern movement gets built, and believe it or not, it all starts with sound. Music has been a tool for protest forever, but in our hyper-connected world, its power has just been cranked up to 11. We saw it with Black Lives Matter and the #EndSARS movements. A single song can now just slice across borders almost instantly, bringing people together and mobilizing a response from all over the world. And this quote right here, it just nails it. Music, especially when it comes from marginalized communities, isn't just some background noise for a protest. It becomes a counter-narrative. It creates a whole new story that pushes back against the official one, and it makes the voices of the oppressed absolutely impossible to ignore. So, how does that actually work? How does a song go from just being a track to a global anthem for a movement? Well, it turns out there's a pretty clear pattern, a kind of architecture to it. It's called the protest music cycle. So here's the playbook. It kicks off with the music release. Then, boom, it explodes online through digital circulation. Think YouTube, TikTok, you name it. From there, it jumps off the screen and gets adopted in the streets during protests. That's when it becomes a symbol, reinforcing the movement's identity. And finally, you get global amplification, when it reaches people all over the world and international allies. And this isn't just theory, right? We've all seen this happen. Think about Kendrick Lamar's All Right, becoming this powerful chant of hope for Black Lives Matter. Or Burna Boy's 2010-20, which became a sonic memorial for victims of the Lekki toll gate shooting during the #EndSARS protests. These songs literally became the sound of resistance. And all this leads to this really fascinating idea, sonic occupation. This is when protesters use music and chants and these mobile sound systems, not just to make noise, but to physically claim public space, to make themselves seen and heard. The sound itself becomes an act of defiance. Okay, so while one architecture is designed to be totally open and to spread like wildfire, there's a completely opposite philosophy at play. This one is all about lockdown, about isolation, about building an absolutely impenetrable digital fortress. Yeah, in the cybersecurity world, the old idea of a castle with a moat around it, it's dead. The new way of thinking understands that the endpoint, your computer, is the perimeter. So the goal has completely shifted. It's now about hardening every single device until it's its own fortress. The philosophy driving all this is called zero trust architecture, and the name really says it all. The main principle is simple: never trust, always verify. It just assumes that threats are already inside your network, so nobody and no device gets a free pass. Every single action has to be checked and authenticated. And this philosophy gets applied in different ways, creating this whole spectrum of security. On one end, you've got Microsoft's approach, which is trying to find that balance between security and, usability. But on the far other end, you've got guidance from the NSA, which prioritizes security above absolutely everything else, even if it makes the system way harder to use. It's always a trade-off. So how in the world do you build walls inside the computer itself? Well, one of the most powerful tools out there creates what's basically a secure vault right inside your computer's architecture. The best analogy is this. Even if malware gets into the main house, the whole operating system, it still can't get into the vault where your most important stuff, like your passwords, is stored. So that secure vault technology, that's what protects your login info. Then there are other tools that act like a really strict bouncer for your computer, only letting in apps that are on a pre-approved list. And you even have specific rules that are designed to block the common tricks malware uses, like stopping a Word document from trying to run a nasty script. So here's the bottom line. We have two fundamentally opposed designs. One is built to connect and amplify, and the other is built to isolate and protect. Let's put them head to head. You see it right there. The architecture of Dissent is decentralized and open. Its goal is to build a counter-narrative and amplify voices through viral sharing. On the flip side, the architecture of Control is centralized and fortified. It's all about enforcing one single narrative by reducing the attack surface through total isolation and lockdown. The strategy of protest is simple: global amplification. The whole point is to make a message as loud and as widespread as humanly possible. And the strategy of security? It's the polar opposite: attack surface reduction. The goal here is to make the target as small and as quiet as possible, to give attackers absolutely nothing to aim at. The method of protest depends on a participatory culture where literally anyone can join in, create, remix, and share. And the method of security? Deny by default. Nothing gets in, nothing is allowed unless it's been explicitly trusted and verified first. Look, this isn't just some abstract technical debate. This is a digital tug-of-war that is actively, right now, designing the world that we're all going to live in. It really just boils down to this. One philosophy uses the very architecture of our technology to tear down walls and connect people. The other uses that exact same architecture to build walls higher and sometimes to enforce silence. So, the question this all leaves us with is a really big one. In a world that is screaming out for both freedom of expression and digital security, which one of these architectures will we ultimately choose to build our future on?